Hi everyone, I'm Francesca and I'm a final year student of International Business and Management, and I did my placement year in Germany for Robert Bosch as a project management assistant.
And I'm Rebecca Brown, and I'm a final year microbiology and immunology student, and I did my placement year at GSK. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat to you about what our experience was like, and then coming back into final year.
So I came back to Aston in September, and I was very excited to see all my friends that I haven't seen for a year. And I was also ready to go back to university because I enjoy working during my placement, but at the same time I miss the student life and the fact that I didn't have to be in an office from 9 to 5. So I was really ready to start university. What about you? What was your first feeling, impression?
I think being nervous was something, it was particularly quite a big part of it for me. But again, like you, I was so excited to see everyone and see all my friends that I'd missed, as we'd gone to all different areas of the country, and some of us had gone to different countries, so it was really nice to have a catch up when we got back. But I think it was a lot of nerves and stress. But I definitely think my placement year helped with that, getting that organisation and like learning how to actually try and cope with a lot of heavy workload. So.
And you actually see the difference before going to placement and after you went, because also I think you also gain more time management skills. So I remember that during my second year I didn't know how to manage my time, and I was always running late for all my deadlines. But then I know in final year I had a better understanding of how to manage my time and what to do. So I think it really helped me in that case. And also after my placement I already knew in which area I wanted to focus on after the university. So I knew which career path to take.
I was definitely excited to get to show some of the skills that I'd learned on my placement year, as a lot of my modules were in the area that I'd done my placement. So I was really excited to get to actually be able to use them, and it really helped me with my studies. So that bit was quite exciting, as well as being nerve-wracking.
So how did you find final year? Were you stressed?
I really struggled with stress, if I'm honest. I think the workload was just so high. It was much higher than second year, and I think all the other years that I'd gone through. But I think I just made sure that I really made time to enjoy myself, and whether it meant planning in time and like schedule, even just things going to the cinema or just having a drink with your friends, especially now we've got the new SU. Nice area.
I don't want to leave Aston now.
But what about you?
Yeah, so I think final year can be stressful because you need to study more, as you said. So you have more, university is more demanding, and also you need to find a graduate job or a master if you want to keep going with further education. So I think it's really important that you gain support from your course mates, and you share what you're going through with your friends as well. So together they can help you.
I think I got a lot of support as well, in terms of, because you've got stress of deadlines and coursework and exams, but you've also got the stress of trying to find a graduate job and worrying about whether you can go for a scheme or, as you said, further education. So I think the Careers and Placement Service helped me quite a lot personally, because they had a specialist in biology, which is the area that I was looking at, and he really helped me calm down, and he really helped me with my CV. He would sit down with me for how many hours, and I could keep sending it back and he'd help me. So I think that was definitely the support from that side and the job searching side, and it made studying a lot easier. But as you said, you've got to rely on your friends and your family and make the most of the support that's around you.
Yeah, and also I think during your placement you gain team working skills. So I think I really received the help from my friends. And we were giving advice to each other in terms of work, coursework,
Yeah.
So I think
you're not in it alone.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
you're not in it alone. There are so many people that are going through the same thing as you, on so many different courses, and you've got support everywhere. I think that's the most important thing. So how did you find trying to manage your time in final year, looking for both jobs and studying?
Yeah, good question. So because during final year you have many deadlines, and also you need to see where the grad scheme are gonna expire. So I think a good way is to have a diary, so you can plan everything and know how to what to do with your time and how to manage it. And did you find also useful to have a diary?
Yeah, I really went old school with a proper hardback diary that I used to carry around with me, and I just write out all of my deadlines, whether it was coursework or exams, and then plan my time around that. And I try and spend about maybe an hour a week. If I was really struggling with deadline, it was about an hour a week looking for jobs. So it could have been Aston Futures, or sometimes just looking online, and some of the big companies have them up there.
Yeah, also for me, before Christmas, I try to focus more on graduate jobs.
Yeah.
So I remember, for example, during the weekend, I was just applying, just doing application, and maybe during the week I was focusing on more university.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really important to start applying earlier. If you already know what to do, so many business and management and finance roles expire before Christmas. So
that's what I found as well in biology. So a lot of the big companies, we were getting back to uni in September, like October, and a lot of them have already closed. So it was one of the things that I think you had to be so organised in those initial weeks. But it was a lot of stress, because I think final year almost feels like a full-time job. You have so much you have to keep on top of. So I think trying to plan out that time, as you know, in that diary for me was, as you said, the weekend was finding that time to actually focus on your CV, get it looked at, and then start applying.
And also, I would say to start looking at the companies you want to work for during the summer, so you already know when they start, when you have to do your application, so you can plan in time.
Yeah, and having a little research as well into what their assessments may be like. Because as you were saying earlier, there was looking at tests that you have to do to make sure that you've got enough practice. Because a lot of companies now use so many different steps, don't they, to testing. Especially if you're looking at the graduate schemes, that's the main area. So I think some of the graduate jobs do open a bit later, as I've recently just got a role. But I think if you're looking at the schemes, then you do want to be looking, as you say, early September, October. So I think that's basically the best way to manage your time, is however you find it, but I think planning out, allocating time for that is really important. So how did you find getting back into that academic way of thinking after working away?
Good question, because at the beginning, during first term, I struggled a little bit, because for 1 year I hadn't really studied during my placement, because it was work, of course. So I think first term was tougher, and that's why I made sure to have a plan, and you need to be strict with your plan. So if you plan to do a certain amount of things that day, you have to do it, because otherwise everything is gonna pile up, and you won't have time to do it. So, but at the same time, I think during second term I improved.
I think the thing for me is I felt very similar to you, but I think it's natural to feel overwhelmed. I think it's perfectly natural, especially when you're first coming back. The first few months for me after working and not writing scientifically and not having to do the longer hours necessarily, you know, working in the evenings. And it was actually really difficult to start off with. I really struggled, especially more with January exams.
Of course.
But I think it was very easy. I started to get back into it after January, and you know, when you have more modules and you just start to get a bit more understanding of, you know, being back, and it was quite easy once you got back into the rhythm.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that second term was literally better than for exams. Yeah, so because already, like, my memory has started to get better, and so
yeah, I think because I was doing certain modules that I'd chosen, but I hadn't touched on since maybe first year. So, and trying to remember certain knowledge from first year, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. But no, actually, it did come back to me, and it was quite easy. But it did take time, and it was kind of natural to feel that overwhelming. But you can, as we said, with the support, and you can.
Plus, I think at the beginning you think, oh, I'm the only one who doesn't remember things anymore. But then everyone won't have the same.
Everyone will be pretending they know.
Exactly,
But everyone will be struggling because it's very different working. But I think once you get into it, it does make it a bit easier.
So to summarize, what do you think are the most important tips to give other students?
I think the main thing is try and be prepared. Try and plan as much as you can. It's going to be difficult, but I think as long as you plan. I think for me, try and use the support around you. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Because everyone will be in the same position as you, so...
Maybe try taking up a sport, or I found yoga helps. Just try and find something to release that stress, something that you enjoy. Anything else?
For me, I think what's important, if you find that you are struggling with some modules, go and speak to your lecturers, because they're always very helpful, and also try to see what are your course mates doing. So don't be afraid to ask. And in terms of graduate job, there will be the career and placement team that will help you. So there's no need to stress at all. Even it will be stressful, but there is plenty of support.
And you'll get through it. You will get through it. It will be difficult. We've done it.
Yeah, we've done it. So.
And even if it's a few days before an interview or an exam, I've gone and seen lecturers and got help.
Definitely. Even
there to help you.
Before interviews, you could go to speak to lecturers.
And there's so many mock interview and assessment centres that are happening now. So if that's something that you're really worried about and haven't had to do one, then there is a lot of support. So I think don't be afraid to speak up if you need it. But I think try and breathe. I think that's
and plan in advance.
Plan in advance.